This is Paul for Redneck Sports. I believe that everybody should win in life, or at least attempt to. The first three maxims of General Robert Nealon's game maxims, I believe apply to everybody. The team that makes the fewest mistakes will win. Play for and make the breaks. When one comes your way, score. If at first the game or the breaks go against you, don't let up. Put on more steam. Welcome to the channel. Now let's discuss some sports. Oh, and if you don't mind, like, subscribe, comment. And I've got a link tree down below that's got my social media, and it has my Patreon if you want to help out. Thank y'all. Folks, I am only doing 5 for the women's SEC college basketball. Not because they're women, it's because of scheduling. The men had a far better schedule when it came to what games were on, which is why yesterday I did 7 games. Today I am doing 5 for the women because scheduling. I am sure there are going to be weeks that I'm going to do far more than 5 women's basketball games. But it's still going to be a pretty interesting week. It's still going to be one of those weeks that you should be excited if you love basketball, if you love women's basketball, either one. And also, the simple fact of is that I at least get to do a Tennessee game this week. Unlike what I got to do with the men's. Hey, the Lady Balls, they're being exciting this year. I can't wait to see them get ranked. I really can't wait to see them get ranked. But we're going to cover 5 games. 2 for South Carolina, 1 for Tennessee, Ole Miss, and Kentucky. So, let's get into it. Okay, the Lady Balls are going to be playing the Western Carolina Catamounts. This is going to be Tuesday, November 26th. Tennessee beat Samford convincingly, beat Tennessee Martin convincingly, beat Middle Tennessee State pretty well, beat Liberty pretty well. Western Carolina Catamounts beat Warren Wilson convincingly. That shouldn't have even been a game. Campbell was a fight. Radford was a fight, but they won. They lost to Oklahoma. Oklahoma beat them really convincingly. And they beat South Carolina upstate convincingly. Okay, so the Oklahoma game, how these two teams are going to compare when they get to playing each other and how they're going to compare in the SEC, Western Carolina is going to be one of those first marks on the Oklahoma situation. Because how Tennessee beats them and how Oklahoma Lady Sooners beat them, that's going to be the mark right there. So, do I think Western Carolina's got a chance? No, I do not. This is going to be Tennessee all the way. My Lady Balls, under their new head coach, who I adore, is going to beat them really convincingly. But I think that this is going to be the first mark of how we're going to see how they're going to do in the SEC this year. So, this is a game to watch on Tuesday, November 26th. Okay, in a top 5 matchup, you have South Carolina playing UCLA. Currently, UCLA is 5th in the nation. South Carolina's 1st in the nation. Lady Gamecocks are on a long streak. I don't know if they have the record yet for most unbeaten or longest unbeaten streak, but wow. So far this year, they beat Michigan. South Carolina beat Michigan fairly well. NC State was a convincing win. Coppin State was a convincing win. East Carolina was a very convincing win. UCLA beat Louisville. It was a competitive game. Colgate, not as competitive. Pepperdine, convincingly. And they beat Arkansas very convincingly. So, how South Carolina wins this game is going to tell us how they're going to match up against Arkansas, which it doesn't look like Arkansas is going to have much of a chance. So this is a time to see how they're going to match up come NCAA, how they're going, because I mean, these are games that are going to be important. Plus UCLA is Big Ten, so they're going to be playing intense competition. This is going to see how Big Ten versus SEC is going to go with the NCAAs. It's going to show how South Carolina is going to compare to exceedingly good competition. It's just going to be a good matchup. This is going to be Sunday, November 24th. It's on FS1, so tune in if you want a chance to see a good game. Okay, I don't know who decided South Carolina's schedule this year, but South Carolina, yet another game, top 10 this time, Big 12, South Carolina is going to be playing number 8 Iowa State. Seriously, what in the world, folks? Why is this the schedule for the South Carolina women? Don't get me wrong, I think that they can do it. Iowa State beat Chicago State kind of convincingly, really convincingly against Indiana State, Southern convincingly, St. Thomas convincingly. In other words, Iowa State has not played anybody that makes them worthy of that number 8 rank. Maybe Southern, maybe Indiana State, maybe, but nothing like South Carolina. South Carolina winning all these games. No joke. They're playing a schedule that, I'm sorry, who else is playing this type of a schedule out of conference? Seriously, South Carolina is literally bringing in top 10 teams. And this is, what in the world? But South Carolina is going to be playing an Iowa State team that has not really played anybody. That's the sad truth of it. They still have Northern Iowa and Drake before they get to South Carolina. Drake might be in a decent, I mean, the men's team's always good, but South Carolina, this year alone, is going to already have played Clemson, NC State, Michigan. Okay, none of these are ranked really, but still, that's a tough schedule. Think about that. That's who South Carolina is playing. So Iowa State is going to be going in there pretty refreshed. They played a bunch of warm-up games, and then they go in there to play number 1 team in the nation. What kind of fairness is this? I don't know who did South Carolina scheduling, but hey, this is going to be another amazing game. This is going to be Thursday, November 28th. Doesn't look like it's going to be on TV anywhere, or if it is, they haven't announced it. But this is another game to watch of South Carolina's. Okay, this next game is going to be Wednesday, November 27th at 8 p.m. It's going to be number 15 ranked Kentucky Lady Wildcats playing number 22 Illinois. Okay, Illinois has played Florida State, and they beat them pretty well. Beat Marquette, which is a pretty good team. Beat Eastern Illinois really convincingly, and Lemoyne really, really convincingly. So Illinois is a pretty good team. Kentucky so far, South Carolina upstate very convincingly. Northern Kentucky fairly convincingly. Wofford convincingly. Louisville was a game that I already said you should have watched. Kentucky Louisville, big rivalry. It was double digits, and they beat PFW. Look, this looks like a pretty evenly matched team competition here. I think that, and I mean, Louisville now is ranked, even though they're 2-2. Illinois is a decent team. I think that this is going to be a pretty good matchup. It's not going to be, an all time classic, but I think it'll be a pretty good game. So you should watch this one because, well, not just because it's an SEC team, but it'll be two good teams. You get to see what's going to be a possible NCAA team, two teams that are going to NCAAs. Last game that we're going to cover is the Lady Rebels of Ole Miss. Uh, Monday, November 25th at 5 p.m. It's going to be on FLOH. I don't know what that is. I'll be honest. 3-1 Ole Miss versus Boston College, who's 4-1. So far, Ole Miss lost to USC, who's ranked number 3 in the nation. In a close battle. This was 68-66. So okay, so they lost a close battle against the number 3 team in the nation. Arkansas Pine Bluff, way too convincing of a win. Shouldn't have even happened. Delaware State, very convincing win. Jackson State, very convincing win. Boston College so far has played Lafayette, convincing win. Sacred Heart, convincing win. Northeastern, convincing win. They lost to Harvard by 8 points. Wow. Harvard Lady Crimson must be a good team this year. And they beat Providence. This is I'm not sure. I mean, considering who they played, Ole Miss who's ranked number 17 right now, has got a better record when it comes to who they played and how they won and all that. I think that it'll be Ole Miss all the way. Lady Rebels looking like a better team. Boston College, I mean, it's an SEC ACC matchup. You know it's going to happen. I really do think that this is going to be a decent game, but I don't think Boston College has got the firepower. I really don't. Other than they beat some weak teams by a decent amount. I mean, Ole Miss took the number 3 team in the nation to within 2 points. That was a good win. Boston College, this being an SEC ACC matchup, that's the only reason I really put it up here. But yeah, it's still going to be a decent game to watch, and you can watch it on TV if you want. So, last game I'm going to cover. I love me some ladies basketball, and this season is already turning out. I mean, South Carolina, good lord. I don't even know what to say about what South Carolina is having to go through. I really don't. And on top of that, you take a look at Tennessee, Lady Vols, Florida State, Iowa, Memphis, which is supposedly a good team. And then come January, they start their SEC schedule. They're going to have time to get accustomed to Kim Caldwell. They're going to be going up against, once January starts, January 2nd, Texas A&M, then Oklahoma on the 5th, 9th LSU, 12th Arkansas, 16th Mississippi State, 19th Vandy, 23rd Texas. Kim Caldwell has got to get this team ready. It's looking like she's getting this team ready. And, you've got Kentucky that are doing pretty good. We've got a team at Tennessee that is going to be pretty impressive. Kentucky is doing pretty good work. Ole Miss, really good work as well. So the SEC has got another year that we're going to be some of the top teams in the nation. So if you're not watching, what are you doing? Lady women's college basketball, sorry. No joke, in my opinion, is far better than what you get with the WNBA. There, I said it. Paige Bucher and Haley Van Lith aside, the rest of women's college basketball is still far better than the WNBA. WNBA is a bunch of overpaid political activists who get on the court and almost embarrassed us in France. Actually, in my opinion, in the gold medal game, they did embarrass us. Women's college basketball is not embarrassing. Matter of fact, I would love to see college women's basketball all-stars go up against the French team that almost beat the WNBA team. I want to see college all-stars go up against the WNBA team. I want them coached by Dawn Staley. I've got problems with Dawn Staley, but at the same time, I'm impressed as all get out with Dawn Staley. And I want to see what they do against WNBA All-Stars. Seriously, I do. So, I went on a rant, sorry. This has been Paul with Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day and enjoy some women's basketball. Thank you for watching this video. I've had some fairly good success with all of my Redneck Sports stuff. And I hope you enjoyed the topic. If you did, like, subscribe, comment, all that rigmarole. And also, just let me know what you want to hear about. I'll give a redneck spin to this stuff. Let me tell you, I love sports. So, I love people that want to join me in that. This has been Paul with Redneck Sports. Y'all have a good day now. Bye.